What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. And this is the NXT review video show, like on February 18th, 2025. And yeah, this is the final day of the season of the Aquarius. So shout out to those fellow Aquarians, I guess, for the final time of 2025, I guess you could say. And yeah, can't wait to see y'all in January 20th, 2026. And when it comes to being our season again. But we're gonna be talking about exactly what went down on the developmental brand edition of NXT. And it was yeah, this is where we finally got a chance to see what name is Ricky Starks is gonna go by in NXT now. And then we also got out a tease of a face-to-face showdown with the current NXT champion himself and a TNA champion. Let's just say, yeah, we got a couple of TNA appearances, like one in person, which was face-to-face to the champ, and let's just say it was the Hardy Burst in the message in response to a particular NXT tag team. Let's say it's not the tag team champions, but not yet at least. But they did lean it right towards a tease that we could be seeing the title for title match at Stand and Deliver very soon. And we got a match like for this TNA champion going to be competing and defending this championship next week on NXT on February 25th. But also, yeah, and we also got a pretty splendid main event with the women's trios tag team match, which I'm going to talk about very soon, which these women's wrestlers used to be women's champion outside of WWE and other companies, which one was in TNA, of course, which y'all all know I'm referring to Jordan Grace. And also, what else? Well, and we also see who's going to be the number one contender for next week's match. First, Stephanie Vaquera's NXT North American Championship as well. And we're going to be talking about today. We're going to start off with Oba Femi to come out the ring after the show, the recaps on what happened at NXT. What they call NXT Vengeance Day, because it is the post show, which they would normally do, like on their weekly show, like what happened on the weekend pay-per-view after that. And we all knew what happened with Oba Femi retaining his NXT championship match, and we got Julia retains her championship. And they also showed the debut of these guys with Dion Lennox is being the members of this fourth faction, which they've been pointing out that they're comparing them, being compared to the Shield. Like it's been pointed out that they're the cheap copy of the Shield kind of parody. Like when they even doing that triple power bomb to Oba Femi that they showed, which I apologize if I haven't talked about this on my review video show on NXT Vengeance Day this past Saturday. But yeah, that's what happened, and then we got. And then this where they show other matches that happened, which we saw Ethan Page beat Javon Evans, and Eddie Thornton beats what's his name, Trick Williams. But this is where what's his name, Oba Femi didn't waste no time. He's like those guys, like in those black hoodies, which we all know one of them is Dion. He's like, they made a humongous mistake. I'm like, yeah, no kidding. Like, don't matter. Like, if it's 4-on-1, like they made a huge mistake. Like when we kick off something like the what they call the ruler map, he showed that what the 7-foot whale did back about 12 years ago did to the Shield have nothing on him. But it's where, before we can even continue on the promo, however, this is where we got the debut of a particular TNA wrestler, which he's currently holding the X Division Championship, and it's none other than Moose himself. And it's where Vic, Joseph, and Booker T couldn't both believe it. This is where he was holding his TNA what's called champion while doing his pose. This is where then Oba Femi gave did a stare down with the former TNA World Champion, current X Division Champion, and this is where they teased like a showdown here. Like maybe we could see this match at NXT Stand and Deliver, even though as much as I like to see him fight Trick Williams. But you never know, like with this tease right here, like normally they do so, they always follow through with it. This is where fans start chanting his name, Moose, 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 because they all know where he's from, because And this is where fans start chanting "Holy Sugar Honey Iced Tea" chants, which it was immediately muted. Which I don't know how WWE did it before it even said it happened until they stopped doing the chant. That's where he was like, and that's where it's like now, he's like, oh, but I finally burst the bubble that you've been living in for the past year, because I am the one man, that you can't just rule over. Which this is going to be a pretty entertaining showdown. Like whenever they do battle in the foreseeable future. But it is where then Obafemi then let him know that like that bubble that he's talking about is nowhere near his bubble. It's been under like ever since you've been there. So stay in that side of the and to leave him to his side, like in here in NXT, where she's which he is an inedible talent, and that's where Moose is like, but like this had to happen. Like, how about it would be you, Oba Femi, against me, Moose, with the fans saying with him, like, which is his name, of course. Well, his wrestling name, I guess you could say, at least looking at it in a wrestling point of view. But Oba Femi was like, don't worry, like it will happen. And then this where then he hold up his NXT championship. This is where Booker T then shout out saying, like, all right, everybody, ready for this? And he's like, NXT overall, like, are you ready for this? Which I'll say, as much as I like to see Trick Williams get a rematch for his NXT title, but I would not mind if they made this the main event of NXT Stand and Deliver on WrestleMania weekend. Like if they decide to go on this path, like along with the other match I've been requesting for in the TNA NXT crossover manner. But that's where we finally saw Jordan Grace got to the building. We got Ricky Starks, which is going to be debuting a new name. Let's say it's not as bad as we were afraid it to be, but let's say it's kind of similar to his name when he used in AEW in the National Wrestling Alliance. That's the one thing I'm gonna give it, like, which is something that even though like it's not the same, like I'll say it's not the same, but let's just say it's very similar. Like if you imagine if WWE made a WWE version, which WWE is the one that made it so. But let's get into the match, which was a triple threat match between Jada Parker, what's her name? Jada Parker, Carmen Petrovic, and Kalani Jordan. And if you ask me, this deserves the second place spot. I'll say you're damn right it does, because it just shows that WWE just continues to thrive their women's division right into the tippity top of the mountain, much more as they do with the men's division. I mean, don't get me wrong, the men's division is doing pretty excellent right now. Like if not, they wouldn't be hyping up what they just did with Obafemi and TNA's Moose, because they both know they have something to offer. And for the fans to be tuning in and watching the show, which hopefully they successfully execute into this. Like no matter who wins this fight, and maybe even put both of the titles on the line. Like as long as it would make sense and have a point, like the reason why they're battling, which they already showing it right here, because they're both two of the most dominant men in all of wrestling. Like in this point, and not trying to sound ignorant, but and I don't sound offensive, because even if I was, I would kind of sound like a hypocrite because I'm partial to this culture. But two of the most dominating black athletes in all of professional wrestling, like the way they've been presented, if they were like an African like if they're both African Brock Lesnar's. But anyways, this is where we got. But this is where then we got This is where we got what's his name? What name? Eddie Thorpe said I should earn a shot at the NXT Championship. You better not give it to Moose. And this is where Abe was like, well, and then this is where he tried to be reasonable with her for some reason, just because his opportunity of trying to get another shot at the NXT Championships at stake. But but it's where Abe was like, Like that doesn't mean like just because you won against Trick Williams doesn't mean that you automatically earn yourself a shot at another shot at the NXT championship. And besides, like you did it in a much the most sneakiest way that you could ever done it. Like, and it's where we and this where then they get immediately interrupted by these new possible members of Team Chase U of 2.0 Chase U of the Revival, which their name was what's that KO Dixon and what's that Uriah Connors, uh yeah Kale Dixon and Uriah Connors. Yeah, that's what their names are. But it's where they was like, hey, like you're invited, Ava, like to the party. Then where Ava was like no, like I'm like I like no, like I can't do that. And this is where then Eddie Thorpe then said something that was very unusual and did something unusual, and that is taken up for Ava, saying like you're really gonna invite the GM to one of your lane parties, like and he's like you realize it's not campus, do you, and or one of y'all's frat houses that y'all attend y'all's pathetic college y'all's pathetic where y'all attend y'all's pathetic college semester, and then this is where the two like it was like, hey, ain't that DJ Eddie like or DJ ET? Yeah, and which that sounds like a pretty funny nickname to give Eddie Thorpe, like considering that he used to been a DJ, and then the ET part kind of sound like if uh if uh like if it's an alien that's a disc jockey, if he's that alien from that very entertaining movie from the set, was it the 60s or 70s, like either way, like yeah, like it kind of sound like if that alien on that movie is a disc jockey. But anyways, this is where we got Eddie Thorpe's like, I don't do no disc jockeying no more. And like this one, probably for the best. Like just like, and this where then, and it's probably it should stay that way. Then this where then this is where they say like Mr. Chase didn't tell us anything about this guy. This is where it's like yeah, and it's probably for the best. Like just like it's for the best that your former master of the Chase U will just will abandon his university and the whole entire Chase U community. And this where then both Kale Dixon and Uriah Connors then took offense to that, and they were like, yeah, you don't talk to Mr. Chase like that. And then this where it's like, you know what, like how like we whoop your ass right in that strap match. This is where he's like if it was Andre Chase that was in the ring with you in that strap match, he would have whooped your ass. As a matter of fact, you would have done it any day in the week, which I would believe if it was like the old Andre Chase when he was in this happy enthusiastic learning teaching mood, I would say definitely would. And this is where then Eddie Thorpe would try to deny. This is where he tried to deny him and say, like, yeah, they're just basically being delusional. This is where it's like, no, he would have. And I was like, yeah, they probably onto something. But it's where they were like, on behalf of Mr. Hay, we challenge you to a match. And it, and it's where, and that's where we got. This is where then Abel then sounded like Andre Chase if he was a female. And this is where he's like, you really want to play the challenge for the honor of Mr. Chase, huh? And this word is like, yeah, we do. Like, and this word then she made official that it will indeed be Andre Chase taking on Eddie Thorpe. And let me know in the comments below who do you think is gonna take the W here. But this is where we went back to the ring after that like segment. This is where we got Kalani Jordan and Jada Parker just starting some strikes until Carmen Petrovic then decided to hit a strike kick right onto Kalani Jordan, which she was the winner of the wrestling tennis. Then she went right into Jada Parker. This is where she tried to go for the surprise roll, which is the most devastating. This is where then she gets denied with a quick kick out of one even by Jada Parker. But it's where it only got her 2.5, 1.5 from Kalani Jordan. But it's where Jada Parker had a forearm strike right after Carmen Petrovic. This is where she got Kalani Jordan, threw her into the right corner side. This is where she tried to outsmart her to a running shoulder tackle. Anyway, we got this female OTM that went to the left side, ducks out of a duck out of Kalani Jordan over a leap, then drop kick when she went to Jada Parker right to going to the left side. This is where we got Carmen Petrovic eventually got back from the right side in the ring, but it's where then she ends up getting thrown right back out by the former women's North American champion. This was trying to go for Springboard Moonsault, which reminded both women that she belongs into this division, which I believe she's a tweener now. That's probably potentially going to go heel, just like her man. But anyways, this is where we got Kalani Jordan throws Jada right face first into the apron, right to the left side. Then she did throw eventually right back in the ring. That's where we got Kalani Jordan and try to throw Carmen Petrovic right to the upper left side. This is where we got. That's where she hit a right hand onto Jada Parker when she blocked, like when Jada tried to go for right hand. This is where fans started cheering. This is where everybody was cheering for Jada, like she's the top baby face in the match. Which if she was, she'll be at rank second, like considering that what's her name's also in the match, Carmen Petrovic, which she's the top baby face. But it's where they start cheering for Jada Parker and booing Kalani Jordan. I was like, don't tell me they're gonna decide to turn her back into a baby face. This time it's gonna be full time, not just for part of a storyline, but in general. But this is where she started kneeing her right into the back and just started choking Kalani Jordan right into the throat first, right into the middle rope. This is where we got Jada Parker then picks up the right onto Kalani Jordan. This is where we got Jada Parker then hit a suplex right onto Kalani. This is where we got yeah. Uh, like like you want to get down in the mud with it. This is where she hits her single underhook suplex, but this is where she will get denied with a kick out at 2 point. What was it? 2, if I'm mistaken. This is where we got. This is where once that didn't work, we went to the Powerful Force and All Professional Wrestling up next, which is a commercial break. But once they got WWE got done with the advert, this is where we got what's her name? Jada Parker was still in control, like which she must be a fan favorite of the. I mean, she must be a favorite of the Powerful Force of this match. This is where we got Carmen Petrovic after she slammed Kalani. This is where she draped her right into the middle row, hit her with a sliding face buster Hurricane Rana like maneuver. This is where we got what's her name? Kalani Jordan to try to go for what they call it, like a back suplex, but she draped her right into the middle ropes. That's where she tried to go for a springboard sideways version leg drop of her boyfriend's version of the draping leg drop maneuver that he normally do to his opponents. But this is where we got Kalani Jordan trying to grab my Jada Parker. This is where she turned around, hit a forearm strike right to her back. This is where we got. That's when she gets countered by Kalani Jordan into a leg drop. When she got like in the reverse DDT, Kalani tried to go for a pin, but only for get a near fall of 2 point. What was it? 8, if I'm not mistaken. Kalani Jordan like, what do I have to take? What does it have to take to win back her women's North American Championship? When she went to the left side, and she tried to go for a crossbody, but Jada was not a fool, and she was obviously not born yesterday. It's where that she got in a 12-0 position, and she hit her with a slap so hard you probably could hear it like all the way up in, I'll say, in Stanford, I guess you could say. But this is where we got Jada Parker to try to go for a pin. This is where we got this is where we try to go for a pin, but this is where we got what's her name? Claudia Jordan hit a frog splash like her idol, the one of a kind whole flipping show wrestler, I guess, or Mr. Monday Night, whatever you want to call him. But this is where fans start chanting NXT repeatedly, because they were enjoying this match a lot. Pretty sure. Yeah. And yeah, this was a pretty good match where everybody liking it. Again, I'm pretty sure they do because I know I did. And this is where we got uh, Kalani Jordan and Carmen Petrovic was going at it with wrestling tennis blows. But until we got what's her name? Kalani Jordan took down Carmen Petrovic. Then she went right up into Jada Parker. This is where then she eventually won when they started going back and forth. This is where we got And then she tried to put her to the top rope for an avalanche maneuver, but this is where we got Kalani Jordan. Then try to go up there. She gets pushed right off. This is where we got what's her name? This is where we got Carmen Petrovic got her into the right corner side. This is where she hits the back elbow to her, and she hits a big forearm strike right into the face of to Jada Parker. This is where we got uh, Carmen Petrovic. Then try to go for a leg swinging Hurricane right on to Jada Parker into the left side. This is where we got this is where we got she did the same right on to Kalani Jordan right into the upper right corner side. 2 for 1 in the diagonal side. This is where then she tried to go for a pin to Kalani Jordan. Kalani would not take a pin for a pinfall successfully or successfully pinfall for an answer. This is where then we got Jada Parker hit a knife edge chop onto Carmen Petrovic. This is where she hits a hypnotic right onto the that sent Kalani Jordan packing right to the left side. This is where then she then waited for Carmen Petrovic to try to go for a leg sliding drop kick, but she ended up getting speared right back first. This is where she throws Carmen right back in the ring. This is where we got. This is where we got what's that? Jada Parker got her into like a right in the middle ropes, hanging like in sideways position. That's where she got to go for the springboard bomb drop, but she did exactly what she did right onto the I'll say the onto the lovable combat queen, I guess you could call her, or the lovable combat Canadian Empress, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully, that sounds like more like a compliment more than an insult. But this is where we got well, let's hope that's the case. But it's where we got Jada Parker spotted up Kalani Jordan right to the upper left corner side of the top turnbuckle. It's where she hits in the what they call a big avalanche suplex. It's where we got Miss Parker to got her to in the same position what you did to what's her name what's her name to Kalani Jordan like she did to Carmen Petrovic like back earlier I'll say like just a couple minutes ago like this is where she went up and hit the bomb drop like which I believe that she got a double whammy. This time was on the Kalani Jordan, but we all know that it was but we all know that that still counts as a double whammy right there. But it's where what's name what's her name Jada Parker got her back turned. This is where we got what's his name like the lovely the gentleman boyfriend of Carmen Petrovic, which is the Shante Diodanis, like that saved her from getting dived on by Kalani, then throws her right back in the ring. This is where she hits her inside cradle right onto Kalani Jordan. She will be taking on Stanley Vaquer in the horrible city in the United States, which is Cincinnati, but it's where we got Jada Parker that was very ticked off that she stole a win from her. But it's where she gets Lutez pressed by Kalani Jordan. It's where they start going at it in the ringside, which their feud's not going to be ending anytime soon. But it's where we got what's his name? Ashante Diodanis was celebrating with his on-screen girlfriend, like because she got an opportunity of a lifetime to go after for the women's mid-card belt until the happy celebration at the end because one of them that's a former Women's North American champion along with her goons, the Fatal Influence, they came out there to beat poor Carmen Petrovic up in a 201 handicap. That's where she was like, where are you girls at? Like, because Carmen really needs y'all, like in sarcasm. But this is where we got Julia and Steffi Vaquer eventually came out until Jordan Grace was the difference maker. They had to do the wrestling math correctly. This is where it was 2-on-1 situation where the fans thought And that's where the fans start chanting NXT, NXT. This is where the Big Mama Pump, like of the women's division in professional wrestling, then say, like, I came here to NXT to be part of the baddest women's division in all of wrestling, which it has been for the last decade. Just like, I realize I don't want to waste a single second of it. Like, so how about we have a play? Like, you three clearly want to fight against the three of us, like, and so do we three. Like, so tonight, let's fight in a six-woman tag match in the main event, which that's what ends up being official. Like, all thanks to the GM Ava that made this official, which wasn't a bad deal whatsoever. And this is where we got conversations with the D'Angelo family, except for Tony D'Angelo himself. It was his brothers and his sister, which is Channing Stacks Lorenzo, Luca Crucifino, and Adriana Rizzo. This is where the Jack Stacks Lorenzo will try to ask both Luca Crucifino and what's her name, Adriana Rizzo, that, like, have you ever heard from the Don? But it's where they responded by saying no, like we haven't heard from him, and we haven't heard from him probably since last week. And this where then Chase Stacks was like, meaning but despite this, like our business goes on, like it is where it's like, and if Zeus steps off, like, and we need to, I need to step up and take over. And this where then Bart commands right on to Stacks, then Bart commands onto what's his name on the Rizzo and what's his name Crucifino, which I was thinking, like, does this mean that we're going to be seeing like a heel turn or some kind of like with or somehow like Channing Stacks Rizzo's going to be kicked out of the group and he's going to be doing his own thing, like as a single star, like into this banner, like, or that what the WWE is going to lead him into, or do you think that this is just a near coincidence, just trying to do exactly what he's been told to do, like from maybe even a Don himself, like if anything happens to him, he should take over and still keep the business alive, whatever establishment they're running, but yeah, let me know about that. Anything of the sort in the comment section right down below. But that's where we got Jakar Jackson and Last Legend came out with the Meta Girls that took on the team of Zarya and Soul Cup because they've been teaming probably ever since like probably the end of last year, the beginning of this year, where they started this alliance for some reason. Even though they're two different girls, but like the unsimilarities don't have to be all. Doesn't mean you have to do some team bonding that way. But it's what they showed this past weekend during the Vengeance Day event. Like that's where they showed what they call the they shared like a video of them like hanging at the what they call the at the skateboard area and the beach. And then this is where they even ate some ice cream together, like if they've been besties since childhood. But the thing is, they've only known each other ever since they joined the WWE division. But that's where we got Lash Legend and taking on Saruka, like in at the start. But this is where we got Corey Graves pointing out the logic into when was the last time the women's tag team champions were defended. Like they haven't seen Bianca Belair and Naomi since like they only defended that time like back in November, was it? Not November. I mean, what I'm talking about. I mean in January. But this is where we got Lash Legend start going for a grapple onto Saruka, right onto in the air, but it's where she tried to toss her away. And just tried to go for a pump move, but Saruka had to step up into gear. But that's where like she hit a drop kick, she goes for a sleeper onto the Meta Girl. That's where she gets tagged in by what's her name by Jakar Jackson. This is where Last Legend goes Irish from the right to the left side. This is where we got Jakar Jackson to trip her over while Last Legend hit an elbow drop. This is where we got what's her name hit an elbow drop and Jakar Jackson for this is try to go for a pin. But this is where she only got denied at 2.4. This is where we got Saruka and counter out of a boot right to the midsection, go for a suplex, followed up with a what they call with a moonsault. That's where she goes for a moonsault knees to the midsection, which I don't know how Ruka did that maneuver in any capacity. This is where she throws Jakar Jackson right to the left side, tags in Zarya. This is where both women hit a double suplex onto the smallest member of the Meta Girls. This is where we got Zarya to go for a pin, but this is where she only got a denied 2.4, if I'm mistaken. But this is where we got. But this is where we got. This is where we got Zarya and Zarya, so we can start fighting with Last Legend and Jakar Jackson until what's her name? Last Legend got the better of Saruka, but while Zarya got the better of her partner, what's her name? Jakar Jackson. This is where they're picking up their respective opponents right in the end in a fireman's carry. This is where this is where Last Legend is like, I bet you couldn't do gorilla pressure hammer right behind your back. But this is where Zarya's like, I actually, as a matter of fact, I can, which Big Joseph was like, is it like, whatever you can do, I can do better, like kind of situation, which it turned out to be, and also and maybe even more into the women's division, if I say so myself. But this is where we got. But this is where we got Last Legend and Zarya started arguing, going back and forth. But this is where we got Zarya that hits a big old headbutt onto Last Legend. This is where Ruka then caught her into a Hurricane Rana, slams her right to the left side. This is where Jakar Jackson then hits a missile drop kick onto Zarya. This is where we got Jakar Jackson like, come on, like get up, get up. This is where she told him. This is when she went to the right side, hit the suicide dive onto Soruka and Soruka and what's her name? Soruka and Zarya. This is where. But that's when they start doing their Meta Girls hand gesture top maneuver. But this is where the powerful force of all professional wrestling came on. This is where the was the average came on. This is where we got Ruka was on top on the offense side against Last Legend. This is where we got. But this is where we got. This is where we got the hollow tag by what's that? Ruka Zarya, and this is where we got Last Legend and he gets booted right to the face by right to the face is where we got. And when Zarya that went up right into the corner, right to the upper right corner side, right onto Last Legend, and then she went to the opposite side, the upper left, with Jakar Jackson. Then this is where we got, but this is where we got a miscommunication with Last Legend, which she went right to the diagonal side. But before she even got there, this is where Zarya was already left and gone. This is where she actually hit Last Legend instead. This is where we got, and this is where we got. Well, this is where Zarya went and hit a spear right to what's her name, Last Legend. This is where we got Zarya to try to go for a suplex, which she successfully did onto to what's their name? Like this is where we got. This is where we got Zarya, then tags in Soruka. This is where we got. I'm trying to pick her up. This is where Jakar Jackson hits a jawbreaker. Soruka then hits a super kick on her. This is where she did the same with Last Legend. This is where then we got a super kick again on the Jakar Jackson, which somebody should have called Britney Spears, but like it was for what they. But it was for a signature move, like a super kick, which was successfully executed, by the way, which we got like all good luck here, but this is where we got. So we could try to go for a pin, but at least I thought it was until I jinxed it with Last Legend knocking over Zarya right into Ruka to stop the pinfall count. This is where we got. This is where we got Last Legend and get tagged in. This is where she started hitting, try to go for a choke slam onto the young surfer. This is where she started hitting a couple of Hurricane Ranas. This is where then you got. That's where we got. That's where so we can try to go for Soul Snatcher. But that's what we all know that it's gonna be a guaranteed because it's where we got that's where we got. That's where we got. Soka tags in. What's her name? Zarya. This is where right after Last Legend still fainted. Like this is where she. This is where we got. This is where we got Lash. I mean, Miss Jackson. This is where she started going for moves of her own. This is where she ended up getting kicked out at 2 point. What was it? 11 was it? Yeah. This is where we got. This is where we got. This is where we got Lash Legend trying to count out of yeah. What's her name? Lash Legends in. This is where we got. This is where we got. What's her name? This is where we both got Lash Legend and Zarya did a pretty cool, funny spot of hitting their double pump boot right in the face. That had that even so Ruka's shocked on what just happened. When the fans started cheering and have a big reaction as well, just like if it is the biggest showcase event of the year. This is where we got Zarya and Lash Legend staring out, like saying who actually deserves a shot at the women's championship. This is where we got Zarya hit the big devastating headbutt onto Lash Legend. This is where we got. This is where we got Zarya pick up. This is where we got. This is where we got Jakar Jackson tagged her in, but she knocked over Lash Legend. This is where she ended up getting pop-up backslap right into her partner Lash Legend. This is where Zarya hits the pounce tackle. This is where she picks her up, hits this F10 like maneuver to get the 1-2-3 winner of this match, and no, this is where then she went up and ended up tagging in. What's her name? Zarya. Yeah, this is where Zarya tagged in. So we could hit a very long but a reasonable standing soul snatcher right for the 1-2-3 win. And yeah, the winner of this match, yeah, what's the name? Soruka and Soruka and what's her name? Soruka and Zarya. That's what their names are. And let me know down in the comment section right down below how would you rate this. Which I would give it about since it was an entertaining side in battle and whatnot. But this is where we got a backstage interview with Tyreek Agrew and Tyson Dupont and Wesley with Sarah Schreiber did say you know what this brand's like before, a career in NXT, being without a friend. He's like, Sarah, there's no secret, and then NXT is gonna be completely unpredictable. But anything can happen to anybody, to any time, any place, anywhere. You can show up anywhere. Somebody should be shut up. For example, somebody attacking someone out in the parking lot, which is on that anonymous, and this way. It wasn't we're not gonna rest to do our head that's perfectly. But here's where we got Sarah Schreiber, the stop right there, which Ricky Starks accidentally interrupted. And this is what Ricky Starks did say, it's nice to hear from you, Sarah. And it feels good to, hear WWE NXT contract right now. I bet you have a lot of questions, which I'll probably answer here in a few minutes. It is what it is. But this is where start advertising for next week. NXT. But this is where we got. After the show, The Undertaker showing new guys from the LFG program. Like, what the first thing starts at when it comes to being a PW, the perfect training method to train for that. But that's why next up we got. But next up we got. Here's where we got the new signing of the hottest free agent. That's absolute. And then yeah, and there was, and then that's where we got Ricky Starkston that came out. That's where Ava welcomed him to NXT, but she didn't name him yet until it was signing the contract. That's where she was like, "Well, welcome to NXT." This is where Ricky Starks was like, I've been there for too long. I gotta admit, like, it's been amazing. You thank Ava for this opportunity. You like, and he said, before I sign this contract, like, can I talk to y'all for a minute? Like, because there's a lot of things that I need to get off my system. That's where the fans were having sides the absolute era, which that's pretty much his name. That's where then Rick Starks like it. And there's like there's some people that claim that this is the dream come true. Like no, this is a reality. Like standing right, like yeah, this is reality. What we're looking at right now, like ladies and gentlemen, like main evented every single NXT PLE. That's complete reality as well. And then this is where then he continued on the promo saying like we need the NXT Championship. Now that's also reality as well. And then it's like and then the absolute truth of all this that I am the man like in NXT. And then this is where then he's like chanting like absolute. This is where he's like, and I'm gonna do like to our best ability, like that. Let's show up and show out because right now the revolution begins now. And this where the Ricky started like, okay, let's get this started and get this pen and paper together. This is where Ava was about to do it with him, because yeah. She's probably very happy to have him on the roster. Maybe say, I mean, one for instance, he is very talented, and she probably paid attention to what he's been doing for the last 5 years over at the other company, which I'm not sure if I should mention by name right now, but yeah. But yeah, and the second reason is because he looks too much like her father. And this word, like she probably like, are you sure that my dad have not been telling me the truth about me not having a at least half brother or whatnot? And this where the page comes out. Here's what Ethan Page like, oh look, you're finally gonna sign your NXT contract. Like that's so cute. Like let me get in that contract. Like somewhere, like include your first match here will be for a guaranteed NXT championship. That is correct. Fans like, no, that's not how it works. There, that's the fans. It's what the page on Chuck is like, dude, you're a genius here, like an actual genius. Like you are following the Ethan Page playbook, like to a like with that much there, dude, while I'm laughing, he's like, dude, like you are a complete genius. That got me. Like you're an actual genius that you're following the Ethan Page playbook, like to a to a T. Like this is where Ricky Starks was like, wow, I never thought I would see this guy again, which he must have forgot, like just a moment, like he also works here, and he's a former colleague over at the other company that they used to work for, but like, and also they probably known each other for years in the independent scene as well, so that really not much of a shocker, but at the same time, like, yeah, this is very shocking to see them on in the WWE ring. But that's why Ricky Stark started chucking. That's what he depends. Like I'll tell you, as a friend, the fan go face to face. There's only one Ethan Page, pal. Like I hate to break it to you. And you're like, yeah, that's it. And you're looking at him right here. He's right here. That's where Ricky Stark's like, wow, like I really got you in the feeling. That's very crazy, huh? Like, is it because that I showed up and you know that, well, the fact that the spotlight is not big enough for the both, that was the case, is? Like, that's the reason why you sent us the, like, yeah, this, and that's why I sent in all these imaginary plates of space, like which we all know that the space don't come from you, but this is where we got And that's where it's like, well, they have security that's tied to that jacket you got on. And that's where the he's like, you should know me well enough, my man. Like that. I do walk the walk, and I also talk the talk, and I'm here to take this place to a whole new another level. This is Ethan Page that was not really believing at first, being a little skeptical. This is where he's like, you're really taking this to another level, huh? Like as much as you are a big superstar, like even guys like you couldn't reach the bar that I set that people coming into NXT. That's where Rick started. Well, listen, I don't think we should be doing this right now. Like, right now it's time for celebration. Like, me, celebrate the fact that I'm out here in the hottest wrestling promotion right now. And even you did pay. Like, you finally did too. Like, and you also picked up a victory, over Javon Evans in sarcasm. And so he's like, yeah, happy you. Like, yeah, but way to go. Like, good job. Like, and it's where then he let him know that but they also, what they call let him know that Javon Evans is still going to look for revenge and try to kick his ass, uh, just like a certain final boss man said. Look exactly right, Ricky here. But this is where we got. He's like, but the one thing I know, Javon Evans, that show they had a dog. That one thing for sure, like that this, I have to tell you, people like Javon always keep coming back around and start whooping that ass. Which Ethan Page was about to say, we're going about to say, he's not the and that's why this is the first time they heard this from a very handsome guy that looks exactly like that, like Ricky. That's where then he did kind of reference this, but say like, here everybody, here's another here's another superstar coming to the rescue, Javon Evans. This was like he couldn't have stopped in the venue Saturday. Like if I was a betting man right now, like he's not even here. But this way he was completely wrong because Javon Evans came around, turned him around, hit some big old right hands. This is where Javon Evans then chased him out the building. This is where then he started beating him up to the point they got him right up on the stairs and right to the back entrance. That's what Ricky Starks then confirmed that he wasn't wrong. Like this, where he's like, wow, like it was like I really wasn't wrong. Like I didn't really uh, expect it to be sooner though. But it was but as what I was about to do before I got rudely interrupted. But this way before he can even put ink down the paper on his contract, that's where then he gets interrupted yet again. This time it was Wesley when it was like, oh come on, when even Vic Joseph saying that, which I believe that the way that Ricky Stark said it, like we must it must have been the same time when what's his name said it, Vic Joseph. Look, it's like very similar to like The Rock and what's his name, Majority King Lawler did it when they heard that Kane said in the back locker room in the segment between them and Hulk Hogan saying like the Canomaniac when he referred to fans as the Canomaniacs. That's where then The Rock was like, huh, Canomaniacs? That's where we got Wesley like yeah, but this is what Wesley's like yeah, you're new around here, so I'm gonna let you know that. But let me know, let you also let you know that there's some rules around here. And then, like, the number one rule is you don't disrespect Wesley, all right? He's like now. But signing the contract might be a good idea, but he does. Like, let me know. I want to be the first one that goes around here, and welcome to NXT with a very with a very special wrestling with a very special gift of a wrestling match for him, to be in like a very like a welcome to the neighborhood gift. And this where Abe was like, that was exactly what you wanted, and I'll make it official. And it was like we can steadily make that happen. And this is where Ricky starts to try to ask questions to his lookalike's daughter by saying, like, is there everybody like around here like that always ask for opportunities like this around here? Like, and everybody just ask for opportunity and just be angry around here, just out of nowhere for no reason, like and trying to find a way to get into a match, like make that for the reason is where and that's where we got that's what that's what Ricky Starks like say like okay, you and Ethan are like that's actually the same people. Like y'all are two people in the same pot. Like let me tell you this right here. How about doing better than you next week? Like you and I. How about that? It will be 1-on-1. And this where it was not just a 1-on-one match, but let me tell you, like otherwise, that other particular otherwise in just a moment. This is where we got Wesley was getting tired of him talk. This is where he's like, okay, to sign the damn contract, but let me know there's gonna be just a warning. But the rookie warning, but I'm gonna give you a fair warning again next week. Like you're gonna be welcome in to the revolution, and then this where the absolute revolution is where they're talking about the sign the contract, but he almost got interrupted again. But he already knew from the first two strikes, which the second time wasn't out. It was actually a knockout out of the park, literally, because when Wesley tried to hit him with a right hand, he blocked it and hit a big old right hand, knocking him right to the left side. Ricky Starks didn't go for a clothesline, or should I even call him that name because he signed the paper. You will not believe what exactly he's going to be known as in WWE. Now that he's signing the paper, and now he's going to be officially be known as the new name he's going to be using in WWE is Ricky Saints. Like, and yeah, that's what he's going to be doing. He's gonna be known as Absolute Ricky Saints. He looks like the Rock, a mini Rock lookalike, like he's been referenced on the other company when he used to wrestle for there. But what do you think? And what are your thoughts on fighting Wesley next week? Is the first match in the debut in WWE overall and in NXT to be the most particular. Let me know down in the comment section right down below. Do you think he's gonna have a successful run in NXT, or what are your opinions? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. And what are your thoughts on the new name? Do you think it sounds very similar to the one that he used over at the other company, in the Jacksonville-based one, and the National Wrestling Alliance as well? Let me know down in the comment section. Which it does. You still have the first name Ricky, but Saints. I think it's kind of similar to Starks, but it's just a different kind of version of that last name from when he used to wrestle over at the other side. But that's where we got. But that's where then they thought. But this is where we got a backstage interview with Sarah Schreiber with the current WWE NXT Tag Team title. That's where That's where Fraxium. Then there was saying like thank you, and this is where they're about to explain, but usually end up interrupted by the No Quarter Catch crew. And that's where they get interrupted by the NQCC, which is No Quarter Catch Crew, which stands for, is where then Fraxium was like, oh, like we see what you are here for. Like y'all want to shout out our goal. This is where it's like, yeah, we like to. It is what it is. Like as much as we like to take those titles off of y'all's shoulders, but on our opinions, we got some other duo that's holding some tag gold that we want. Actually, silver with Restaurant. It's like we want the best tag team in the world, and that's where then Fraxium was like, we're exactly that. That fits in our description. But this is where then they reassure that they're partially. They're talking about the full. We're talking about the full greatest wrestler of all time that's been wrestling in the business for probably like over 26 or about to be 27 years. And it's where then Tavion Heights, they made it clear by telling the cameraman to go straight up into his face and tell Sarah Shaw to put the microphone right underneath him. Right? He was like, Miles and I are calling off Matthew and Jeffrey Hardy, the Hardy brothers, from TNA, like for those TNA tag team champions. And I was like, oh my God, like they're finally going to be seeing this with them teeth. This is where Corey Graves was shocked. He's like, guys, are you kidding me? Like you're actually calling them out like this. And this is where we got, a response like, on a from the Hardy brothers, but later on the show, like after this match right here. But what are your thoughts on to what are your thoughts on Brooks Jensen? What are your thoughts on the taking out Heights and Miles Bourne are gonna going to be challenging for the TNA Tag Team Championship, which let me tell you is going to be next week. Let me know down in the comment section right down below. I think this is going to be a lead up to the unified NXT and TNA Tag Team Championship ladder match, which we could see Matt and Jeff taking on Nathan Frazier and Axiom, which I'll be totally all in for that idea. But this where we got Sean Spears and Brooks Jensen and Izzy Dane and that other dude, what's his name is? With that Blade dude that's like a bodyguard of theirs. But this is where we got the next match coming up next, which I'll say was pretty decent. Like maybe nothing too exciting, but it was what it needed to be. Which it was like basically like Tank Stacks and Windsor trying to take care of this Sean Spears problem once and for all for the sake of his kayfabe brother and D'Angelo family partner, and that is Tony D'Angelo. And it was Channing Stacks Windsor came in to chase after Sean Spears to start slugging it out like if it's Dragon Ball Z because they wanted to fight it out. This is where we got Sean Spears hit Channing Stacks with the face first, but this is where Channing that hits Sean Spears' face first on the right side, throws him back in the ring. This is where he had him sit right to the bottom left side. This is where he kicked him right in the gut. This is where he throws him right to that side, knees him right in the midsection. This is where we got Stacks and start getting knife edge chops, which I believe Gunther was displeased for the former Perfect 10 to do so, which he's probably definitely gonna be getting somewhere near the 3 or the 2 spot, like of the envy list, like second or third. While Chase Stacks Rizzo is probably no better, but at the same time not as worse at the same time, which he's probably earned himself the 6th place spot. Considering the fact that this guy is the former star that used to work at the company that uh, that Gunther cannot stand for the wrestlers there to be hitting his moves, is where we got Sean Spears trying to go for a tackle, but this is where he gets booted right to the face, is where he slides underneath Sean. This is where he hits the big old uppercut. This is where we got Sean, no, Staxton hit a boot right in the side of his face. This is where he tried to go for a pin. This is where we got Spears and kick out of it at 2 point. What was it? 3, if I'm mistaken. This is where he hit some strikes. This is where he dips him right to the left side. This is where the underboss spin throws him right to the other side. But this is where we got the chairman then hang on to the right corner ropes. Like if it's 2K24, this is where he try to close him out, but this is where he gets flipped right over. This is where he ends up getting super kicked after failed attempt of close on him, with Stacks wins up boots him right in the face. That's where we got. But that's where Sean Spears then took a page out of the man that nearly broke his finger when he was Ty Dillinger playbook, and that is Randy Orton's vintage spike DDT. He did it right on the Stacks of Windsor, right into the top corner side. That's where he barely could feel his head. That's where I believe he's trying to beat an NXT version, which I believe that already happened before when we found a wrestler that was still in NXT at the time was trying to beat the developmental brands version of the residential 20-year WWE Viper. But anyway, this is where we got Sean Spears trying to go for a pin. But that's where he immediately gets denied with a kick out at 2 point. What was it? 6 was it? This is where we got this is where Luca Crucifino and one of Adriano Rizzo was trying to cheer on their kayfabe brother of the D'Angelo family, Stacks. But this is where we got Sean Spears then trying to pick up Stacks, trying to go for a headlock, but he ends up getting punched right into the midsection. This is where he started getting repeatedly getting punched, getting bobbing and weaving and jabbing and clapping. This is where then he tried to. But this is where he tries him to the right side. This is where he goes for a wrist lock, knees him right in the midsection, hits a spinning neck breaker onto the underboss. That's where he got the chairman trying to go for a pin. But this is where he's have a better idea. This is where he started hitting him with some left hand punch strikes right into the face onto Stacks. This is where he starts stomping right into the neck. This is where he started leaving his boot right into the back of the neck of Stacks. This is where we got. This is where we got what the Sean Spears throws Stacks right to the left side. This is where he started chuckling. This is where he tried to picks up. Channing Stacks wins on back in the ring, but it's where Stacks then fights Ragnar back in a big right hand, hit the boot right to the face. He probably got a guaranteed springboard maneuver he was trying to do earlier, which was turned to a code breaker, of course. But it's where we got. But it's where we got Rizzo and what's his name? This is where Rizzo and Adrian Rizzo and Izzy Dame to try to almost get went at it because like turned her she turned her back or stab Rizzo's back like and stab her right in the back like when she betrayed her and the rest of the D'Angelo family by in favoring the Sean Spears family, whatever they called their faction. But yeah, but luckily Sean Spears security guards he hired luckily keep the peace and break up the fight. No physicality at this time. But this is where we got Staxton hit a big elbow right to the face onto Sean Spears, hit a double A spine buster. This is where we got Channing Stacks wins over right to the upper left side. This is where we start trying to hang on to the ropes. This is where it goes up right up on the top rope. This is where the try to hit some kind of a diving maneuver onto the onto the to the onto the former Perfect 10. This is where he hits a middle drop kick onto the chairman. This is where he did try to crawl right into a pinfall. But it's where I believe he had a better idea though, like which I believe was like some kind of a brainbuster move. But it's where Sean Spear hit a keypad brainbuster, which that was similar to another former NXT alum, which I'm not sure if I should mention him by name, considering he's in the other company. But it's where we got but that's where we got Sean Spears and hits my finishing maneuver, which they call it the DVD, which is the Death Valley Driver. But SNA here calls it the most dominating move in all of professional wrestling, which is the Saz Valley Driver. And for once, like since like last year, we got another win out of this, and now like Sean Spears is kind of starting to be one of my favorite wrestlers, like for that particular reason, because he like appreciates that move much more than your boy SNA and maybe even John Cena does. But this is where then we got what's his name? Moose that ran into Lexus King, like saying like yeah, it's great that you made this big impact, like pun intended, of course, and all the stuff yiki yaki yaka, but despite all that, like you got a lot of balls, like to think you're all the that's the the head of the system, like would you say trust the system of the team, but and it was like, well, I would love to trust the system, but I don't like how the way that y'all coming here, especially your your little dirty Chippendale Fandango coming in here, like to try to take away, like challenging me for my what's called my Heritage Cup championship. As a matter of fact, like I don't trust any of you guys, which is from the wrestlers from TNA that's coming into NXT to challenge them for the NXT championships, like and barely the other way around. This is where he's like, and I don't see, like, since you're here, like, I don't see you're gonna be defending that X Division Championship that's on your right shoulder anytime soon. Like, and this way, before he can even continue, Moose then immediately interrupts. He's like, hey, like, stop right there. I'm gonna stop right there. I don't have time for listening to this nonsense. Like, I don't know what y'all do things here. If you want a shot at this TNA. And that's where then he's speaking knowledge with him, saying like, if you want a shot at my X Division Championship, all you had to do is ask. Like, which yeah, like, and there's nothing wrong with asking for something, like because like who knows, like you might get it anyways at the end. Yeah. Yeah, you might get whatever you want, but it's where that he's let them know that if that's what you want, like next week in the horrible city, which he didn't refer Cincinnati or even refer to as a horrible as a as a horrible nickname, but you get the point. But he's like next week at NXT, which are going to be in Cincinnati, which I believe is the hometown of Lexus King, and I see why he has a nasty attitude because where he's from, considering just like that guy that was like in the mat, that's remembered as the imaginary friend of Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Now he's a world champion there and keeping it hostage in a suitcase. But that's a different video for a different day. But this is where we got Lexus King. Did say like you're like you're gonna be challenging me in my hometown next week, like where I'm defeated at, which I believe that's an accurate statement because normally when wrestlers point things out, even if it's something mini, like it's usually an accurate statement that they're making. But it's where this was official as well, Nick, for next week. So but that's where we got Andre Chase then was in the other side of the hallway, like questioning like this two potential teammates that could be teaming with him with the new Chase U 2.0 faction, which was Kale Dixon and what's his name Uriah what's his name Uriah Connors. Yeah, this was like why the hell you keep asking me to. Why you keep trying to put me in the match on my behalf, like when I didn't ask you to? This is what they're trying to explain. Like, like I believe this would help us revive Chase U on where it still stands for. And then this was like, and then and that's where like, and then Eddie Thorpe said he still don't got it. And that's where one day was about to turn into the old Andre Chase, like when if Chase U wasn't dead, like if it was still alive and still a fictional WWE what they call it, like educational university, I guess you could say. This where he's like that no good dirty son of a. This where he got interrupted. This where then what's his name Uriah Connors was like, see that's right there. And that's that old Mr. Ch. We need him, which Kel Dixon agreed on. That's where the Andre Chase but what I'm talking about, like Chase U is dead, but somebody in the gorilla position now that's like a disc jockey. I must have heard this because they started playing this music. Like this is where the Andre Chase is what did I just say? Well, I bet he must have said like when he went through the gorilla position to the guy that plays the music. This is where he was like I told you, like that Chase U was dead. This is where he's like, but there's no use to tell nobody because no one's not listening. I might as well pretend that I still own my university, which we all know that don't exist in real life, but it does on WWE's side of things. But yeah, but yeah, that's all what matters, and hopefully me and my boy Sam Miller will attend that university, which hopefully it stays exclusively on NXT because that looks like a perfect segment, look like a segment that you definitely want to be in and learn the knowledge of Mr. Chase, or if you want to refer him as that, if you don't want to call him with his full name, which is Andre Chase. But anyways, excuse me, but yeah. But this is where we got Eddie Thornton came in. This is where he started grabbing this is where he pushes him right into the upper right side. This is where then Andre Chase then counter started hitting a knife edge shot, started fighting like the old Andre Chase, and then hit him with right hand. This is where he sent him right to the upper left side, then the bottom left side, until Eddie Thorpe came in and stopped him. This is where he goes for a stomp right into the midsection. And let me tell you, this was probably I'll say the blue ribbon of the night because it just showed like might have some hope of finally seeing Chase U back here, back in WWE. But the sad thing is, we probably won't be seeing the return of the one member of that we probably won't be seeing on the revival of Chase U is what's his name Duke Hudson, like since he was released. Oh, come in.
What's Kamir's password?
Kamir's password
For Apple ID.
That's not
Apple ID. What's it like? What's it, Kamir's?
Trey, you come back, bro. Trey, come on. You said it was what?
I believe it was.
SRCW.
No, shh. Like it was. I think it was. Wonder Ayana 25.
That's
If
your
I'm
passport.
mistaken, I think so.
Wonder.
Yeah, Wonder. Yeah.
Okay, bet. Okay.
Yeah, bet.
Wonder.
But anyways, where we got a belly-to-belly suplex onto Eddie Thorpe. And yeah, I guess. Oh yeah, Duke Hudson, like because he just got released, unfortunately, about a week and a half ago. If, and if I'm not mistaken, and and this is where we got Andre Chase and try to go for a crossbody onto Eddie Thorpe, but this is where Eddie Thorpe then try to no sell, but this is where Andre Chase leap dodge out of it, out of the clothesline. This is where it's a cannonball right on over to what's his name to Eddie Thorpe. This is where it's like, yeah, like who wants to see a Chase U size ass whooping in this building like a good old times. Their fans start raising their hands like we do. Like Chase U, everybody was chanting for Chase U because everybody missed that faction in that WWE University. But this is where we got Andre Chase and go for a crossbody. But this is where we got what's the name Eddie Thorpe and move out of the way. This is where he started going for Rex wiping kicks right into the midsection onto what's it? Onto Andre Chase, where he goes for a leg stripe. This is where we got what's his name. That's where then we got Eddie Thorpe then try to go for a pin, but only got denied at 1.2. And thank you so much, Mr. MV, because because this is I guess you could say a very decent review video, and I appreciate you giving out these nice kind words, sir. But anyways, this is where we got. What's the name? Eddie Thorpe then throws Andre Chase right into the bottom. This is where he kicks right in the midsection. But this is where he gets blocked by a right strike. But this is where Eddie Thorpe tried to go for a reverse DDT. This is where we got. Well, that's where we got Eddie Thorpe to try to go for a headlock. This is where we got. This is where they try to go for what they call a sideways headlock maneuver. This is where we got her going for a forearm strike. This is where then Eddie Thorpe kind of got distracted by the I guess you say the new future Chase U 2.0 students. Oh, excuse me for the password to the Apple.
Uh-huh.
Did you, how about you tried the with a dollar sign afterwards?
What is it? Because he forgot what you told him.
Was it like one? I think it was Wonder Ayana, $25 sign.
Wonder Iona $25 sign.
Yeah, I believe so.
And did you spell Iona AINA or did you put it with a Y?
I think it was with a Y in it.
Okay. Wonder Iona 25.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Is the W capitalized or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And the A too.
And the A.
Yeah, and the A. And this is where we got Andre Chase. They're trying to go for a suplex right onto to what's name Eddie Thorpe. This is where, and I believe this is where he started spelling out his university, which is the signature maneuver. This is where fans start chanting, but I think I'm mistaken because Eddie. This is where we got his new students that came in trying to cheer him on. This is where we got Eddie Thorpe trying to attack Andre, but he boots him right into the face. This is where it was kind of a distraction for Mr. Chase. This is where he started going for a running axe handle twice. This is where he didn't go for a Uranagi sideways slam. This is where he tried to go for a pin. This is where he goes. You got 1 and 2, but this is where Eddie Thorpe get the right shoulder up at 2.8. Was so damn close. This is where then Andre Chase then picks him up into a fireman's carry. This is where I was hoping it was going to be the Death Valley Driver, or I like to call it AVD. But this is where you get booted right into the face, right into.
Can you do it?
Oh yeah,
It's
sure.
not working for us.
What the heck?
Yeah, it's not working.
I don't know why.
That's empty.
I see. No. Or is it just Ayana? Let's see. Oh, I got it. It was just Ayana. My bad. I thought it was Wonder, but it was just Ayana. $25 sign.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, you're welcome. But anyway, this is where we got what's his name? Andre Chase to go for a side Russian leg sweep, slams him right into the back first, right into in the ring. This is where then he hits his signature move, which is like, give me a C, give me a HASEU. What's that spell? And then this is where even his new student that's potentially his new teammates of the 2.0 Chase U faction, and that which was what name Uriah Connors and Kyle Dixon, and was like said along with the fans when what's name when Andre Chase said, what's that spell? And they're like, Chase you, and then this word and it was like it was about to be back, but it's where we got but it's where then somehow Eddie Thorpe then but this word then he kind of got stuck like when he was in the middle of doing it, like when he was about to hit the stomps, but it's where then he kind of got stuck. He totally forgot like what he was doing. This is where he was lost. This is where we kind of got a flashback saying like, I'm not sure if I'm ready to go. What's that called? To go do this again. This is where then his potential teammates were like no, keep on doing it. But this is where it was the distraction, was his downfall. He gets German suplex by Eddie Thorpe, but eventually came back up. This is where then hits an impaling DDT, and this is where he gets the 1-2-3 by pinfall, and the winner of this match, Eddie Thorpe. And it looks like he will be getting another shot at a championship, perhaps maybe for the NXT champs. But I think it could be like only like just weeks away before the NXT Stand and Deliver event. But let me know in the comments down below what you think that may be. But maybe we can see a rematch at Stand and Deliver between Trick Williams and him, like with Trick Williams having this moment and then finally finally beating him like in a match that's probably more unsanctioned than the strap match that they had. But this is where Trick Williams then they came out with his theme music started playing. Well, first it looked like that he could come out anywhere when he hadn't came out in the front entrance yet. This is where fans start singing along his theme song. They'll say, like, whoop that trick, whoop that trick. But the sad thing is, like, he didn't came out. But it's where we got a backstage interview with Ricky Starks. Was it that was getting congratulated like from his, or no, was it? Well, no, I don't think it was an interview. No, it was him walking towards Ava because yeah, he got something to discuss about. Like that he's officially an NXT superstar. But this is where then Ethan Page and Wesley came in to try to ruin his moment. This is where then he was like. It's like, hey, like, you really think you'll do a cheap shot like me with Wesley being very angry? Oh, yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I want to say on the behalf of Sammy, like, yeah, he said what's up right back at you, man. Like, yeah, and he's glad that that you two assassinators, like, are watching the SNA podcast. Like, and hopefully y'all watching to the very end. But anyways, it's where we got Ava trying to stop this. She was like, stop. Like, yeah, now's not the time to be doing all this just a ridiculous mess. This is where Giovanni was like, "Oh, do anyone you want to fight me?" This is where y'all want to fight. Like, if y'all have a problem with Ricky too, like then you also have problems where like, how about we do this 2-on-2? This is where Ricky Saints, which it's going to take a while before I will remember that name or get used to. Let them get used to it. Let me rephrase that. And where Ava then found a solution. This is where he was like, okay, I have an idea. How about the two of you, Ethan and Wes, will take on the two of them, like Ricky and Javon. This is where then Javon Evans and Ricky, both Ricky Saints and Javon Evans, both like the idea. They did their handshakes. They're like, yeah, like that sounds like it sounds like a perfect team to be the facing team. But this is where we also saw the response of the reigning defending TNA tag team champions, Matt and Jeff Hardy, the Hardy brothers. This is where they're like, yeah, like we were not. This is where Matt Hardy confirmed that he was not definitely expecting to somebody to have not been mentioned on the NXT programming tonight, like kind of breaking the fourth wall by saying it in that manner. But this is where it is like yeah, let's just challenge him, man. But and that's where Matt Hardy let the No Code Catch crew that they're very flattered that they challenged them for their tag team titles. And it's like the hard but should we? And this one, then he asked his little brother, which is Jeffrey Nero Hardy. This one, can we? Should we accept the child? This was like, of course we can. She should. Like we are the TNA World Tag Team Champions after all. Like we are so innovating, like we're still influenced, like we're still inspired, we're still modifying. And yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you so much for checking on me. Like yeah, I've been having a pretty good night, maybe a too busy night indoors, like especially with my nephew, of course, wing wing nudge nudge. But yeah. But anyways, yeah, this is where we got Jeff Hardy's like we're the craft of we're the complete craft of pros. But how about let's talk about the reigning defending NXT Tag Team Champions. I'm talking about Fraxon. This is where Matt Hardy then went from the No Quarter Catch crew to Nathan Frazier and Axiom. This is where the if I want to front row and if I just be the No Quarter Catch crew of Tavion Heights and Miles Bourne, when we do a Switch of Fame and the Swan Time, we'll let you know that we are the greatest. We're the best tag teams of all time and the best in the GOAT. And he's like, and that's what Jeff Hardy's like. We always wonder what they like. Maybe it's a Hardy party that we need to do in NXT, but he wasn't doing this. Well, he would normally would do it, but they showed them images like that like with them doing that, but yeah, it was like an image like they're going to be challenging. They will indeed be taking on the No Quarter Catch crew for their TNA Tag Team Championships. And then it will be in the worst city of the United States of all places. Like, too bad this wasn't in the best city, which that'll be even more better. But this is where we got. But this is where it showed like the other championship will be online, which will be the X Division champion, like Moose taking on Lexus King, which is the reigning defending Heritage Cup champion. But this is where we got the 6-woman tag match, which featured the current NXT Women's North American Champion, the newly won NXT Women's North American Champion, let me rephrase that, Stephanie Vaquer, and the NXT Women's Champion, what's her name? Julia. And then we also got the new upcoming NXT star that made her official debut and signed with WWE from her TNA contract ending. Yeah, I'm talking about Big Mama Pump, Jordan Grace. This is where then we got and they were taking on the what I'm talking about. I mean, what's it called? The fatal influence of JCJ, former Women's North American champion Fallon Henley, and Jasmine Nix, which is she's basically the assistant and the peacemaker, like from wherever Fallon Henley and JC Jane have a fallout. But we got the match start with Fallon Henley and Stephanie Vaquer, where I knew we just got her into a surprise roll up, just to give her a second loss with her pinning her, when it comes to these two against each other. But this is where she tried to go for a 5-woman's carry. After that didn't work by one even. This is where she flipped right out. But this is where Fallon Henley flipped right out of the 5-woman's carry, hit a double hand shove right into the throat. This is where we got Stephanie Vaquer. This is where she was getting choking from the little shove right to her throat. This is where she gets This is where she gets speared right into the midsection, and she hits back first right into the turnbuckle. This is where this is where then Fallon Henley gets tagged out by Jasmine Nix that she got herself in. This is where that's where the Jasmine Nick's like, so that means I'm in. This is where the referee's like, yeah, like, as long as like you hold on to that little white string, this is where this is where Fallon's like, okay, like you go get her, get her cupcake, and this is where then she goes for a boot right into her face. This is where she tried to Irish whip her right back into the corner, but it's where she eaten defeat boot right into the face by Stephanie. This is where Stephanie Vaquer tags in Julia, like, which is her enemy, whatever you want to call her. Like, but this is where we got what's her name? Juliet started going for a wrist lock after wrist lock on the Jasmine Nix, and even when she ended the arm drag, this is where she knees her right into the arm. This is where did she try to go for? Well, this is where Jasmine Nix tried to hit her with the exact same bad arm. Hoping she wouldn't be like Lulu and Kaiser and not selling it. But this is where she gets blocked. This is where she was like, all right, hit me with just one lucky stride. This is where she did so. But it's where it did not even phase Julia. This is where Julia, and that's all you got. This is where she hit her back with a big old right hand. This is where she goes for a half, what they call like a hammerlock hip suplex, hit her back first right into the middle of the canvas. Here's where the Julia tried to go for a pin, but it's where it ends up being a kick out at 2.7, was it? This is where then she throws it right to the upper left side. She gets tagged in by Big Mama Pump herself, which is Jordan Grace, of course. This is where she tried to go for a clothesline, but it's where she gets nearly drop kick, but luckily Jordan did grab onto the legs of Jasmine. This is where she hits her with what they call a reverse Alabama Slam, like she's the female Drew McIntyre. But that's where she got that's where she sent her right to the corner. This is where after she hit a German suplex, this is where she gets tagged in by her boss, I guess you could say, JC Jane. This is where she tried to go for a boot right into the midsection onto Jordan, which I was like, I don't think that's the most advisable thing to do, Jace. And this is where she run that the hard way, when she never got hit with a reverse fire woman's carry. But somehow I'm surprised, I was surprised when JC Jane countered out of it, tried to kick her in the gut, but this is where she gets thrown on the right side. This is where JC Jane tried to go for a close. This is where she ends up dodging out of it, but this is where she ends up getting hit with like an extra Westside maneuver, which JC, I assume JC is a Kofi fan, like behind closed doors. But this is where she immediately gets denied with a kick out again. But it's where we got Jordan Grace nearly picked her off the floor and tried to hit her with a razor's edge like power bomb until like Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix finally grab onto her leg, sends her up right into the corner. This is where we got Stephanie Vaquer and Julia then came in the ring. This is where if you are gonna get involved with your partner, like we're gonna get involved with ours. And this is where they start going at it with them forearm strike. When found him, we start going for his first strike. When they say like, oh, like you. Well, this is where this is where we got this is where we got This is where they started going at with fists until referee finally got them all in order. This is where it went back to JC Jane and Jordan Grace until she tagged in Stephanie Vaquer. They double team on to the former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion until we got JC Jane. Then tried to go for she countered by hitting a back slam right onto what's her name to what's his name onto Stephanie. But this is where Stephanie Vaquer then hits what they call this is what she tried to go for a running senton onto the Chilean wrestler, but this is where we got the Dark Angel then hits what they call the head scissor face buster maneuver, like, or triangle choke face buster, whatever it's called, by hitting her face where Booker T was saying like, ow, ah, ah, like sound like if he's counting in a different language, which maybe he was, I don't know, like what kind of language is count all the way to 10 from that. But it's where we got Stephanie Vaquer to try to go for a 619 like maneuver, like if she was like Rey Mysterio. But it's where we got Jasmine Nixon tried to distract the referee with Try to distract the referee about how fair is Stephanie Vaquer doing that to her boss. But this is where then we got or a mentor, whatever you want to call it. But this is where JC Jane hit a pump kick right into her face after Fallon Henley stopped her and slammed her back first right onto the hard spot in the ring apron. But this is where then we got the partial powerful force and all the professionalism came on, which we saw the fatal influence was in the offense side, is where we got. Once we got done with the partial adverts, this is where I believe we got. I believe that they're still on top. JC James still on top. Fatal Influence was probably were remaining as the fan favorite of the powerful force because they were still in the offense side. Even though she was in the ring, where JC James was still in the ring with someone like Stephanie Vaquer, is where she tried to go for a hip attack. But this is where Stephanie Vaquer countered into what they call a reverse face plant maneuver. But this is where we got JC Jane get middle drop kick though, however, but this is where we got Stephanie Vaquer and try to go for like a sideways flip spin into a pinfall, but it's where she immediately kicks out at the pinfall. This is where we got JC Jane had a swinging neck breaker like if it is WWE 2K. That if you push like on the Xbox, if you run like and push RT in the left stick and push B, you hit the swinging neck breaker. Even if you play as Roman Reigns, he even does that maneuver. And this is where we got JC Jane then tagged in Jasmine Nix, which she threw Stephanie Vaquer right in her way. This is where Jasmine Nix tripped over the Chilean wrestler. This is where we got JC Jane hit a super kick right into the face onto what's her name right onto what's her name right on to Stephanie Vaquer. This is where we got found him. We get the spinning face buster maneuver when she gets tagged in by Jasmine Nix. This is where she tried to go for a pin, like if she's winning back her women's North American Championship. But the sad thing is, she's not fighting back for that belt, like at least not at this time. But secondly, she there wasn't a 3 anyways because it was only 2 point about 7 if I'm mistaken. But it's where we got Stephanie Vaquer try to go for a super kick. But this is where we got found him. We try to go for a clothesline, but Stephanie Vaquer try to go for a clothesline. This is where they try to go for a right hand to each other, which they knock each other out. This is where we got the both women then tagged the respective partners in, which I believe Fallon Henley tagged in JC Jane, while what's her name? What's her name? Stephanie Vaquer tagged in Jordan Grace, which he started not only taking out JC Jane, but the whole entire Fatal Influence faction, of the whole entire trio until somehow JC Jane got back up, kicks her right in the gut. Then she barked into her assistant Jasmine to go for a double Irish whip with her until both women get hip suplexed by Big Mama Pump. Then gets hit with the atomic drop. She hit the atomic drop right on the Fallon Henley. Go for a clothesline right on to Jasmine Nix. But it's where JC Jane tried to dodge out of her attack when she spot. But it's where she choked like about to hit a face break, but she gets lifted right into the upper right corner side. She tried to go for a Samoan muscle buster maneuver, but before she even hit, it's where Jasmine Nix tried to come and save and run up to her, but she gets clothesline whack with a clothesline before she can even know it. This is where she hits a muscle buster right into the middle of the ring without the Samoan. This is where she goes for the pin. This is where she only got a denied of a 2.999999. Double triple nine module point away, be a 3. This was she tried to go for this pump up maneuver, which I assume this was a finisher that looks similar to Penta's driver. But this is where then we got Jordan Grace then was getting countered by getting elbowed and punched right into the midsection by JC. But this is where she immediately turned into a power slam by giving up. giving up of doing the pump handle in the first place. That's where Jordan Grace then tried to go up in the top rope, right into the upper right side, but it's where she immediately gets distracted by Fallon Henley. She kicked her off the apron, but it's where once you try to go for a springboard dive, the distraction might have worked because like when she went down, she then found JC Jane nowhere near the canvas house. This is where we got JC Jane, then hit the pump handle knee strike, or no, a bicycle knee strike, just like her former Toxic Attraction teammate. No, I'm not talking about Georgina Dolan. But anyways, this is where. But yeah, anyways, like this is where she tried to go for a pin, but needless to say, this was a near fall of 2.9, if I'm mistaken, like of the Ninedoms. This is where we got. That's where then she tagged in Fallon Henley and then she tagged in Jasmine Nix, which they hit their respective maneuvers, which ended with Fallon Henley threw Jordan Grace right onto what's her name to Jasmine Nix. Did a Pele kick like she's a female Finn Balor, but it's been noted that she's been a former female soccer player, which that explains why she does kicks like the way she does, which I thought she'd been training with Finn Balor in the PC, but I don't know. That's a 50-50 chance that might be the case. But this is where then we got Stephanie Vaquer and Julia then pulled a page out of a certain vice president. So a certain vice presidents is like we should say that's so irresponsibly bad they couldn't even run a Walmart, or no, it was another retail store that they created this maneuver, which I cannot mention their names in particular because they're over at the other company doing their own thing. Like they're about to be heading that way because they wrestled in the Pacific country, like that's in Asia. But this is where we got what's her name? Julia and Stephanie Vaquer took pulled a page out of their playbook, pushes them right into Jasmine Nix. This is where then we got the pin was broken. This is where we got Fallon Henley that hit a pump handle fallaway slam right onto Stephanie Vaquer when all the women got back up. This is where we got Julia that hit the half Nelson driver right on the Fallon Henley. But this is where JC Jane did a super kick right onto Julia. This is where we got JC Jane to try to throw Julia right into the bottom right corner of the turnbuckle, but this is where she immediately gets countered by the pretty hot mess. This is where she hits the back suplex after she hits her face first right into the turnbuckle. This is where then Julia then went right into the left side because since she wasn't an illegal woman, like she would probably be useful is to take out JC Jane. But once she tried to go for a dive, she gets tripped right over out of nowhere by Fallon Henley. This is where then they were trying to double team her by throwing her right into similar steel steps, which was successfully executed by the two members of the Fatal Influence until Stephanie Vaquer came in and she saved her frenemy when she hit a crossbody right into their upper left corner side, just landing right onto both JC and Fallon. This is where we got Jasmine Nixon trying to make her assistant proud. This is where Big Mama Pump then stopped her from even hitting her maneuver. This is where she got a guarantee to hitting her driver maneuver when she got out of Jasmine's finisher. Then yeah, you know the rules of professional wrestling. Like if it don't work the first attempt, the second attempt will be the charm, which was the case tonight. Anyway, she tried to go for the pin. She immediately gets the 3. That's how NXT ended with the baby faces getting the stand up ovation of the victory. And this is where we got Stephanie Vaquer goes on the women's North American Championship, while what's her name? Julia was holding on to the women's NXT Championship, and Jordan Grace was in the middle. This is where they started looking at each other. I was like, don't tell me this is a tease of a 3-way in this circumstance. In this, at this point, I would not really mind if you ask me if I really want this match to happen. I'm like if I was thinking who should be the next challenger of Julia's women's championship, I was thinking of Stephanie Vaquer, but I was like, if it was Jordan Grace, then I would not mind because those are big marquee matches if it's going to be at Stand and Deliver. But I wouldn't mind if it was both women that is going to be fighting the pretty hot mess in a triple threat. And maybe we can also add into adding the Women's North American Championship. Like if it's an NXT version of that of the 2019 WrestleMania, which is the first ever that the three women main event of WrestleMania. Like what overall, which was featured Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Ronda Rousey for both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championship. And I wouldn't mind if that was the case right here between Jordan Grace, Julia, and Stephanie Vaquer. But before that, this was like a full happy ending. This is where we saw somebody in the back, like near the locker room. I mean, not locker room, in the parking lot. Like, luckily, it wasn't the curse. It was rather than Ava's office that came in and just trashed the place, and also wrote graffiti on the wall, which I couldn't get a chance to read what it said. But that's to say that her assistant Robert Stone was in the back, like Robert Stone was attacked by those guys that's trying to be like the new Shield of WWE, and this is where Ava was shouting out saying, "What the hell just happened here?" And then this is where the NXT just ended that way, like with Ava rushing with somebody telling her that that the guys that Deion Lennox is teaming with, which Deion Lennox is one of the guys that's in this faction, which I cannot remember who the other guys are, but they're the newcomers from the ID program that's making their debuts like in this way. And do you think this is a perfect idea to debut these guys like Shield parodies, like in this persona in NXT? Let me know down in the comments down below, Assassinators. Which this is getting very interesting. I can't wait to learn their names. Like I'm not sure if Deion Lennox is going to be keeping his name, considering the fact that he's going to a different character change. And I believe that Vic Joseph pointed that out that it was Deion Lennox, so I wouldn't doubt if he stays that name. But then again, he can and acknowledge that name, but he also probably would change his name by saying that he's no longer that name. He'll be using the other name from now on. But let me know in the comment section right down below about the ending. And are you enjoying this new these dark hooded trio quartet? I mean, guys, like which that rumor has it that there could be a fifth member that's also the leader. That could be the one that's the one that's been that the one that started this faction in the first place. Which if this is the case, like there's only just a matter of weeks when we see this mastermind. The mastermind the leader, like on who's the one that created this faction in the begin with. But I want to ask you this question: do you think that's so, or do you think these are the only four that's going to be in this faction, and there aren't no leaders, like, and let alone the fifth member? So, like, there's probably nothing that to be more worried about. Onto that note. But yeah, NXT did end it in some very in a very interesting way, like with some excitement and controversy and some shocking debuts, like with the likes of Moose and the Hardy Brothers, like are finally going to make their way to NXT and wrestling in matches, which is going to be next week when they're going to be heading over to Cincinnati, which is the worst city of the United States, by the way. Which I wouldn't be surprised if those guys in those hoods, including Deion Lennox, will go more crazy than they've ever been before. Why don't you go ask the quintet team over in the other company that question when the last time they visited in the hometown of their leader's hometown, which that happened to be the worst city in the United States, which is Cincinnati, where they drink their nasty toxic water. Blah. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if so, please make sure to hit the like button on this video and click on the subscribe and the post notification bell for more SNA content. And if you ask me how would I rate NXT, I see any problems tonight? No, not really, because we got build up and since it's other than like Trick Williams not gonna get a shot at this NXT championship, but I would not mind to see this dream match between Moose and what's his name? Moose and Obafemi for the X Division Championship and the NXT Championship. And And like I wouldn't doubt them to even change the name to we do a hybrid of the championships called X the NX Division T Championship, which I'm not sure if that's or I should call it the N double XT Division Championship. I believe you could call it in a hybrid. But let me know about that in the comments below if you have a better solution of calling it a different kind of better version of it. But but yeah, I would give NXT tonight. It wasn't really a disappointment, like but or even anything boring of it. Like it was so interesting. I could talk about everything from start to finish, probably about 5 more times tonight if I wanted to. But but yeah, this was good enough to talk about it once though, and I hope y'all enjoyed. If you ask me overrated, I didn't really see nothing bad happening tonight, so I'm not sure if there was anything bad. I'm gonna tell you it's perfect though at the same time. So I'm just gonna give it, but I still would give it like a perfect 5-star show, like for being so good and so entertaining and so excited. Like that's the only thing to be looking forward to when they go to the worst city. Like is the matches. Nothing to do with the town they're gonna be located at though. Like which I would hope they were still gonna be in Orlando, so the homeless man and Hurricane could watch it in attendance like he did for that company over at the other company when they were in Orlando for at the end of December, like in 2024. But but yeah, like and speaking of that company, I guess it's probably not dangerous to talk about now because AEW Dynamite's gonna be tomorrow, and I'm gonna be talking about what's gonna go down on the post show Dynamite after Grand Slam and what's the fallout, like who's gonna be and who's gonna be competing in the match and who's gonna be in segments and whatnot, like. And also, we're gonna be talking about like the wrestling news video, like which gonna be on February 19th, 2025, where your boy SNA is gonna be talking about the wildest and intriguing wrestling news stories and rumors that you assassinators need to know from the I'll say the Wrestling Inc. article, if I'm not mistaken. Where's where we see Big Bill will be taking on Big Bill will take on Big Powerhouse Hobbs like in a street fight match, and we will be seeing Hangman Adam Page will take on. I mean Hangman Adam Page will go face to face with Mr. Maxwell Jacob Freeman, and and will they? And my question is, will they? Will there be any physicality involved? That's why I would, what y'all may ask. That's probably the number one question. Or will Or do you think that they're gonna keep it cool and they're gonna just talk some business? But I'm gonna let you guys decide for now. I guess that'll be it for now, assassinators. Like for the podcast of February 18th, like of the NXT review video. And I hope that y'all having an awesome Tuesday night, and I'll see you next time with some more SNA content until we meet again. Super Ninja Austin out of here. Bye bye, y'all. Like, and I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon, like for more videos, and I will catch you guys very, very soon.